Hey there everyone, so today we're going to be talking about black salt. So without further ado, this video is about making black salt. The video before this, my TikTok, is about how to use black salt or what it is used for. So if you haven't already checked that video out, go check it out. The link is going to be in the bio. And without further ado, let's get started on the video. Alrighty, so how do you make black salt? Well, it's pretty simple. What you're gonna need is some salt. Any type of salt's gonna work. Kosher salt, sea salt, Himalayan salt, whatever salt you want to use. Because salt is a great conduit, right? It's a great vessel for magical energy. And then you're going to need some ash. So traditionally you would use incense ash or the ashes from like cleansing bundles like blue sage or rosemary. But you can add whatever type of ash you have on hand. If you only have ash from a fire pit outside, that's gonna have to do. Now obviously if you're not in a pinch and if you can spare the time, try to get some incense ash or some ash from your cleansing bundles. Or a good suggestion also is if you're doing, like, let's say you're doing a full moon ritual and you're burning a fire pit as your representation of fire for that ritual, right? You could use the ash and even the charcoal from that fire in your black salt, okay? Now, when you add ashes and salt together, really doesn't make black salt as in like it's black, like it's dark. It's more of a gray color or even a brown color depending on the ashes. But without further ado, let me just demonstrate. So I have my mortar and pestle, right? And I'm going to take some salt. Make sure it's shaken up because it's moist in New England, so it always sticks to the sides. But here we have some salt in here. That's just a little bit, not a lot. Not making a big batch. Then you're gonna go in and get some ashes. So I leave my ashes in a little cauldron. And so you're gonna take your incense ash, and I'm gonna use probably about the same amount of incense ash to my salt. So it's gonna be like that. And then I'm going to grind it up. Now I like to go in a clockwise motion for black salt. Since black salt is used to dispel negativity, and even in hexes or curses, you might want to go counterclockwise. It depends on what you're planning on using this black salt for, okay? So if you want the black salt to be for something negative, then just go counterclockwise. Put that negative intention in there. But if you want it for something positive or protection, go clockwise. And if all else fails, go clockwise. That's what I always say, and that's what I always do. Now, as I'm grinding this up, you can choose to grind this up as finely as you want, or keep it as granulated and chunky as you want to. So this is the final product of mixing it together. This is a salt that seems to be more like brown or darker gray. It's not very black. So what do you add to make it have that dark color, right? Well, you can add charcoal, like I said before. So if you were having that full moon ritual or a ritual where you were burning logs on a fire, you could use the charcoal from those logs because that has magical intention, right? It has that energy into it. But if you don't have that on hand, and not all of us have the luxury of being able to do giant rituals like that, using charcoal discs, like the charcoal discs that you get at your local metaphysical store when you're burning loose incense, those will work just fine. So just take a piece of it, break it off. See, now it's like that. I'm gonna grind all of this together and create my black salt that is much darker. So it has, first of all, yeah, maybe it's for aesthetics. You want to put it in there to make it so it's like in the movies, right? But black, like every other color, every color has a vibration, right? And black It's vibration, it absorbs energy, it absorbs light, and that's great when you're a witch. You want things that will absorb energy because it makes it easier for it to understand and to absorb your intention, the reasons why you're doing a spell, reasons why you're using that salt. So anyway, so you mix everything together, and you get salt that looks darker than that gray stuff. You get a better looking salt, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black salt. You can add as much charcoal or as much, I've even heard of people adding, instead of charcoal, they add black food coloring. I've heard that. I don't know how well that works. I haven't tried it, but you could even probably add black ink. I don't know. You experiment, you figure it out, because it is personal to you. This is your black salt, so add what you want. Now, that was a basic recipe. You can add things other than what I added, right? More to your black salt, but just remember, it's not going to be the classic black salt by then. It's going to be a more specified salt, or a salt that seems like it's for a more specific intention. For instance, if you want to use this black salt for protection, maybe you want to add some rosemary to it, or maybe you want to add some mint to it, maybe even some sarsaparilla or eggshell powder. If you're using it for hexing or cursing or negative magic, maybe you want to have something that makes it more spicy, more heated. So you add some pepper, like cayenne pepper or black pepper. Maybe you add some cinnamon in there as well. Spices can have that hot effect. You could also, which in some traditions, this is the way you do make black salt, is you add rust or iron into your black salt mixture. Now, commonly, or the traditional way I should say, is that you would use rust from a rusty cauldron or from a rusty pan or pot. I don't have that luxury, or don't have any of those things. I don't have a rusty cauldron, don't have a rusty pan. So what do? This is a railroad tie. You can usually find these in different places, but I actually bought this at an antique store for like $1. And you can take it and just kind of scrape off some of that rust and put it right into your mortar and pestle, grind that all together. So it is up to you. You personalize your salt for what works in your practice and what you want to use it for. So let me know in the comment section below what you use your black salt for, and what ingredients you add to your black salt. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, like and subscribe for more content, and let me know what videos and what type of topics you want to see in the future. As always, blessed be.